Hello everyone, and welcome to Shelf Space. I'm your host, Roz13, and today we're doing something a little bit different. Yes, this is a Lego kit. I've actually always been a fan of Legos. I don't really talk about much on the channel because it doesn't come up that much. Also, I am a huge Iron Man fan. So, I saw this at the store the other day and just had to have it. I actually haven't picked up any Lego Iron Man things just because it just hasn't been in the cards, but this one I saw and the price was right, and this just looks really cool. Let's take a quick look at the box. We got an illustration or CGI rendering or something of Iron Man in some sort of like Hulkbuster-esque mech suit or something. You can see that it does come with an Iron Man minifigure. He's got little clear bits that they're showing glowing in this, but obviously that's not going to be the case on the real thing. And some sort of little shoulder stud mounted launcher thing. This side is just some text. And back we have a cool shot of it opened up with Iron Man coming out, and that looks really cool. This also shows that I think I have some familiarity with the basic build of this thing. This looks very similar to a build that they did in what was it called? I'm blanking on it on the name now. But it was this sort of Lego Knights / sci-fi thing that they did. It was really cool. Then on this side we have some actual comic book illustrations for Marvel stuff. So that's kind of cool. Got Iron Man, Captain America, Captain Marvel, and the Hulk. And then over here we have actual size of the Iron Man minifig, which is clearly based off of his movie version. And this side, nothing interesting. So I'm going to open this up and I'm going to build it. We'll probably do a little time-lapse thing. Let's go. And here's the final build. And I gotta say, this looks really, really cool. And I thought I knew what this build was all about. I mentioned how it was similar to Nexo Knights. That's the series I was thinking about. But really, the only thing that's similar to Nexo Knights is this cockpit piece. Everything else is built 100% differently. And really, for something that is this small and not necessarily aimed at the adult collector market, this uses some fairly advanced techniques. I'm not an AFOL, at least I wouldn't be as presumptuous as to call myself something like that. But I am an adult who is a fan of Legos, just I'm not super into it. But I do pick up some of the technique names and stuff like that. And this uses a lot of, I believe the term is studs not on top building techniques, particularly in this cockpit where you have where like a normal Lego build, it would all be oriented this direction, but they have it upright and it just looks phenomenal. Also, the articulation on this is pretty crazy. Ball socket joint up in the shoulder with pretty good range of movement. A ball socket joint down here. You don't really have like a full arm, but you still get a pretty decent range of movement. You have articulated fingers, complete with a thumb. Bit of a waist swivel, but you don't get full rotation, though I think that's by design because they have this piece right there. Kick up, 90-degree bend, and ankle tilts. I have some Transformers that don't have this much articulation. So yeah, I'm super impressed with this guy. Oop, there we go. So you can get some really cool poses with him. And the minifig itself is pretty neat too. I think this is based off of his most recent armor version. I'd have to double check to be sure. But it's pretty well detailed with paint applications on the legs, the front of the torso, and the back of the torso. And a nice little detailed sculpt and paint app here on the head. And then for the minifig head itself, you have a version where you can see like the little heads-up display, or you can flip it around and just have regular kind of smarmy Tony Stark. And he has these little sort of almost effect part-like things going on for repulsor blast, and you can actually keep them on in here, and it just looks like glowing detail. I think the one thing I don't like is that this is not filled in. I think I would have preferred this to be kind of filled in there just to give it a more heavier armored look. But it's a relatively cheap Lego set based off of something that does not really appear in the movie. I mean, yeah, it's vaguely Hulkbuster-esque, but they're not billing it as a Hulkbuster. So I'm not even going to try to pretend. Though it does share some Hulkbuster elements, like these circular things on the shoulders and what appear to be like multiple arc reactors and stuff like that. I think also you have a bunch of leftover pieces, which isn't too surprising with Lego Kit. I think they do all their parts by weight. So little light parts like this, you always end up with a few extras. So I think I'm going to add those on and kind of make this my own. So I think I'm going to put these on the knees. Put these up here. And then I think I might do that. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. So, yeah, my overall thoughts of this thing, this was really fun. The way they set up the build where you have 3 bags and each one is basically sort of self-contained makes it real easy if you have to start and stop. Thankfully, I was able to just go through this all in one go. And it's very articulate and just surprisingly cool looking. Oh, it does have this little cannon thing. Doesn't shoot super far, but it's kind of a cool addition. I like that it can hold multiple studs. That's kind of neat. And yeah, I'd say if you like Legos, you like Iron Man, you like Mecha, get this thing. It's worth it. Anyway, that's been a review. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun YouTube stuff. And check the description below for links to my storefront where you can get official shelf space t-shirts and more. And with that, I'll see you the next time you invade my shelf space.